You mentioned the Clemson Tigers, Dan. Let's go. Let's talk about the Clemson Tigers.
Okay.
Clemson's over-under is 7.5, which caught me off guard.
Okay. In the playoff 2 years ago.
Yes. In the playoff 2 years ago, won the ACC 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Damn near won that playoff game. Last year, Dabo Swinney follows it up with a 7-6 season, which was his worst record in 17 seasons.
Yep.
This is a preview episode. We're going to talk about how we think Clemson will do this season. But the real question, in my opinion, is whether there is a strategy being implemented here. Is there a strategy, or is hope the strategy? Because when I was working the old mysterious day job, I had a friend who was always quick to point out that hope is not a strategy.
No.
It's not the way you go about it if you want things to work. I could probably make a case for both. But I will say this to Dabo's credit. Dabo was more active than ever in the transfer portal, particularly on defense. They brought in the types of guys that Tom Allen wants to run that thing. If Clemson is good this year, I think it'll be led by that defense and probably in no small part to some of those new bodies that he's brought in to try and boost that defense. Yeah. This is not to say you need the portal. You need to use the portal in order to win big. That is not the case. We know that's not true.
Yeah.
But his, I would say, general reluctance to go that direction with the program has definitely been striking. It's been something we've talked about. He kind of veered from that course a little bit here, and I'm curious to see if it works out for him, and if it does, is this something that we're going to see more of in the future?
I agree. Look, the base layer of Clemson is basically they're starting ahead of essentially everybody in the conference other than Miami, I think, right? So their starting point is a championship coach, a pass rush that should be one of the best in the conference.
Should be very good. Yeah.
Should be very, very good.
Yep.
A defensive coordinator who I think we believe to be somewhere between very good and excellent, at least for stretches.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Tom Allen is a respected defensive mind. Receivers that are probably close to the top of the conference, if not in the top tier of the conference.
Very good. Very good receivers. Love that.
Very good receivers.
Yep.
Home field advantage.
Yep.
Pronounced.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yep.
There's a lot that is, just vaguely speaking, in Clemson's corner. It's incredible that they are not looked at least when you look by and large at how people are looking at this conference, as a contending team because of where they've, the up and down nature of the past few years. I don't feel great about them. I have no idea what to think about Chris Vizzina at quarterback. I have no idea if this offensive line can suddenly and magically start anchoring a rushing attack that seemed to be completely absent last year.
It was completely absent last year.
I have no idea if a defense that seems to have NFL players on multiple levels can be somewhere close to excellent for stretches, which they didn't seem to be last year in the bigger games, or consistently in bigger games. I don't love the Chad Morris thing. I don't love looking backwards. That's just a me thing. Perhaps it works out, perhaps it doesn't. But it is wild to me that I looked at who's on this team, looked at the questions, and feel as if they are a second-tier ACC team, given where they're starting out, because I don't trust them situationally under Dabo Swinney anymore. I don't trust the quarterback development. I don't trust the offense. I don't trust the intentions. I don't trust them in big games to win close 50-50 games anymore. And when you can't run, and maybe they'll run this year, I hope they run this year, you can't do much in the red zone either. So you're limiting your scoring opportunities, and it is wild to think about having a realistic conversation about Clemson in this manner because they've forced us into it. It's weird.
When I jotted it down on my note sheet about is there a plan or is hope the plan?
Right.
My first thought upon reading that back was I'm being unfair. But then I dug in a little bit more, and I don't know what the plan is, frankly. I mean, I guess if you squint, you can kind of see where Dabo's trying to take this now, but it is a lot of back to the future type stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm curious. So let's kind of level set with them. Okay, let's get back to square one, basics with Clemson. If they're good, at least initially, it's led by their defense, which you mentioned a couple times here. They look very solid in the front seven.
Yep.
Bit of a rebuild in the back, but plenty of options back there. Pass defense was an issue last season. It looks like they're actively trying to solve that. It does feel like there's some vision on this side of the ball, to be fair. The question is on offense, though. They did not take a transfer quarterback. It looks like they're going to roll with Christopher Vizzina. They went with a nostalgia hire in bringing back Chad Morris, who ran the offense way back when. Time is going to tell if that was the correct decision, because Clemson does have the good wide receivers. They do have a promising young running back, and they have, if nothing more, been recruiting pretty well along the line. Whether they can plug and play some of those guys, we'll get to that once the season gets moving. But to your point, bringing back Chad Morris is definitely a choice. Definitely a choice. I would say schematically, it's a signal that they're trying to be a little bit more balanced on offense. They're trying to prioritize that run game and get better than they were a year ago, and trying to put less on the quarterback. And I saw in the Athlon preview, they had a note from another coach who was like, hey, yeah, great that they're doing this. They sort of tried it last year, and it didn't work then. So there's a case to be made that just because they're trying to emphasize more balance, they're trying to go in this direction with their scheme, it still might not work. But if that is the plan, and if they are trying to make things more balanced, so a little bit less is on a new starting quarterback, if you're living in that universe, you could at least understand that this is some semblance of a plan. You could understand why they didn't feel the need to go outside and bring in a transfer quarterback if they've got somebody in-house who they think is good enough to be, in effect, a game manager. I don't know if that's what they're going to ask of him, but he was a 4-star recruit. He had offers all over the place. It's not like he's a walk-on. He just hasn't played much.
Right.
So what are they going to get out of him? What are they going to ask out of him? I don't know. There are a bunch of moving parts here. There is a lack of a track record on several different fronts. I hope for Christopher Vizzina's case, he pops. I hope all of this goes well. This is where I get to the part where I talk about the schedule and I say that I hate it. I hate the schedule for Clemson.
It's a real interesting one. Yep.
Like, there is some element of talking in circles until you get to the schedule. Because with all these moving parts and so much uncertainty across the board, mainly in offense, then you look at the schedule and it's like, man, I don't know about this, Scan. I don't know about this.
It's okay. I want to say they play 4, as we think about them now, good quarterbacks. Obviously good quarterbacks on this schedule. They have 3 of them in the first 5 weeks of the season. So healthy Sam Levitt, I would count as a good I don't know if Sam Levitt's going to be healthy, but that's on the road in the other Death Valley, and they have Sam Levitt there.
Yep.
They have JKS, short week on the road in Berkeley. Okay? They have Darian Mensah at home very early October. It's 3 quarterbacks. I think we can agree. Healthy Sam Levitt, asterisk there.
Yep. Darian
Mensah, JKS. Good quarterbacks. I have no idea what to expect out of the quarterbacks after that before Lenora Sellers to finish out the season. That game is at home as well, right?
Right.
It's a Clemson game at home.
Yep.
The defense needs to be, both sides of the ball need to be immediately ready, because if those offenses are good, we expect Lane Kiffin's LSU offense to be good. We should expect Clemson, if they're going to compete for those games, to have the capability of scoring 30 points. For the Christopher Vizzina Clemson offense, Chad Morris run Clemson offense, to be capable of scoring 30 points against good teams or being able to keep up with good offenses, however you want to position it. And so that's the schedule. It could have a high ceiling, as Clemson has a better starting point than basically all of these teams. And it could have a low floor, because Clemson seems to have a higher starting point and has still proven that they can lose some of those games. So fascinating year.
It's a really, really interesting plot line to follow, just if you're interested in the story of college football, if only because of some of the characters involved and some of the recent history of this very successful program that has won at the highest level. Clemson is definitely grappling with transition at this juncture. And I don't know if going back to Chad Morris is going to be the result or the answer and give them the results, but I don't know. Time will tell.
It's different. It's a different kind of Clemson team, especially on defense, as we always seem to have the man, they go 6 deep along this defensive line. And they have this All-American candidate at linebacker, and they've got these lockdown dudes at corner, and this All-American, maybe first-round pick at safety. Will Helt is really good. No. Sammy Brown's really good. But, it seems like a shallower roster in terms of obvious star power, which is just different. Thanks for watching, and thank you for at least considering subscribing to the channel. It means a ton.